Number 58. Given a positive integer n such that I to the nth power equals 1, which of the following statements about n must be true? All right. Now, what we have to do is we have to first figure out what n is. So I'm not even going to look at these answers. Now they tell us, now ACT will always tell you that I squared is -1. Now that's kind of the building block for us. So what about I cubed? Well, that's the same as I squared times I, which is -1 times I, which is negative I, not -1. Then what about I to the 4th? Well, that's going to be I squared times I squared, which is -1 times -1, which is 1. So right here, we've figured out a number to plug in for n that makes 1. So this number works. Now what we have to do is we have to keep working to figure out what other numbers work. So let's keep going. I to the 5th. Well, that's I to the 4th times I. What is I to the 4th? We just found it. It's 1, which is 1 times I, which is I. And then I to the 6th, we can break that up as I to the 4th times I squared. And we found I to the 4th is 1, and I squared is, whoops, -1 up there. So we get -1. And then we have I to the 7th, which is I to the 4th times I cubed. So I to the 4th was 1, and I cubed was -1, which is, sorry, negative I. And then I to the 8th, which is I to the 4th times I to the 4th, which is 1 times 1, which is 1. So what have we got? We got 4 to work, and we've got 8 to work. Now what we've got here is we've kind of got this pattern, and i's work on a cycle. So we've got I, -1, I, and 1. And so I to the 1st, I squared. I cubed, I to the 4th. Then we also got I to the 5th, I to the 6th, I to the 7th, and I to the 8th. And as we go around the circle, we can just keep counting upwards. So I to the 9th will also equal I to the 10th, I to the 11th, I to the 12th. And so what we're concerned about is we're concerned about these numbers right here. These numbers, 4, 8, 12, 16, ... And so if we think about all those numbers, 4, 8, 12, 16, which of these above statements is true? When n, that is any of these numbers that I've listed, is divided by 4, the remainder is 0, 1, 2, or 3. Now, I'll tell you this, you can determine this. So basically, if we go back down, and if we divide all of these numbers by 4, the remainder for all of them is 0. So, for 58, F is our answer.